So we're 3 weeks in and the whole world has changed. Quite frankly, I don't think a lot of it's going to go back either. So in this video, I thought I'd take a few minutes to record a few of my views on where the opportunity is in the future, how it's going to affect Betfair trading, match betting, betting in general, and where the opportunity is. And more importantly, where you shouldn't be spending your time right now. Okay, so I'm back from my daily run and it's given me a lot to think about. So I thought I'd share a few of my views in no particular order. First of all, I think at the moment we're living in uncertain times. No one really knows where everything's going in terms of the world, let alone betting, Betfair trading and match betting. Although there are, you can make the percentage call on some decisions which will be very important potentially going forward in the future. So it's the whole short-term, long-term thinking thing. So in the short term, you can't, it's much like trading or betting even. In the short term, you can't guess the outcome of a decision. However, in the long term, if you keep playing the percentage call, eventually you should end up in the best position possible. So what is the best long-term decision that you can make right now whilst you're stuck at home in lockdown? Well, first of all, I think you need to get some structure, some routine. You need to go out for exercise. You need to go for walks, runs where possible, doing it safely, social distancing, all that kind of stuff. But on top of that, you need to decide where you're going to invest your time, because you've been gifted a huge amount of time right now, and particularly if you're on a PAYE and you're actually getting 80% of your pay just to sit at home, don't squander that time. Please, please, please don't squander that time. You want to make sure that you are investing your time in the right places. Now, what are the right places long term? Not casino games for a start, unless you have a very secure way of locking in profit with that, because I know there are a few. But long term, you want to invest in yourself. And the reason I'm saying that is because no matter what happens, an investment in yourself always pays off. If you learn something worth learning over a longer period of time, then as long as you're alive, it is a positive investment. Versus investing all your time into a specific area that might be hot right now. It might be a fad. If something changes, if the government changes the rules, if there's more regulation, all that kind of stuff, it can suddenly be worth nothing. Whereas if you invest in yourself, then there is a return on that for the rest of your life. So I'm not necessarily saying go and buy the trading course on my website. That's not what this is about. But sit down, take time to think about it and structure your time around what is going to be the foreseeable 3 months, 6 months, potentially 12 or longer months. This may be a way of life for the next couple of years until there's a vaccine, stuff like that. To one degree or another, it might be that younger people are allowed out and older people aren't. But there's going to have to be a trade-off sooner or later, I think, from the government in terms of, well, do you know what? I'm not an expert in that area, so I'm not really going to give my opinion on that. It might not be correct, but don't waste your time. Okay, so spend your time. Don't spend your time. I mean, as good as the Tiger King is, don't waste your time on too much Netflix or PlayStation or procrastinating, Twitter, or the news or all that kind of stuff. Think about what is going to positively benefit you over the longer term, and that might be in terms of Betfair trading because the racing will come back. It might be in terms of match betting because the football will come back, or betting in general. In fact, out of all of the different disciplines and different sectors, the betting industry is pretty much recession-proof. People carry on betting, and they did throughout 2008 and other crises in the past. So when the sport resumes, because this is slightly unique, there is no sport right now, but when the sport resumes, there will be opportunity to carry on trading, match betting, that kind of stuff. And even if you don't do that, if you focus on something else, I've seen in the news that divorce rates are up 100% in China. So if you're already a solicitor right now, then it could be time to sit down, set a structure, work out where you're going to focus your time and attention and how you're going to get more clients in that way and grow, and whatever you're going to do and progress. But don't waste your time sat down on a PlayStation or casino games, Netflix, all those kind of very short-term things which don't provide you any value over the longer term. In terms of Betfair trading, how do I think this is going to affect the markets? Well, Obviously, we've seen a lot more liquidity in a few of the places that have been continuing. The States, for example, some of the US horse racing. By the way, if you're trading one of those, be very careful with the starting times because they do not necessarily go off at the official time. There's been a massive increase there, but I think once the UK racing comes back on, possibly behind closed doors in a couple of months, seen on the exchange at the moment, there's a market saying that as of the 1st of June or on the 1st of June, will racing resume, and it's 50-50, we're in at evens, so there's 50% chance of that happening, or that's what the public believe right now. Once that comes back on, things will come back to life. People will start using the exchanges more, they will start betting, and there will be a trading opportunity once more. You may also see that a lot of people who were in that kind of middle segment of trading have disappeared because they have other things to worry about. They've not been traded for a period of time, so it's not become part of their daily routine. So the markets may change a little bit. You may even find, and this may be me being optimistic, but you may find that there's more opportunity in the markets for taking. So that will happen. Match betting will obviously always be there. As long as bookmakers are there, as long as free bets are there, match betting will be there. So that will come back. But what I would say now is, take, even if it's 2-3 hours or one afternoon, sit down, write it out, make a structure, get a routine, stick to the routine and plan how your routine will be when the match betting comes back on, when the UK events come back. What are you going to do to make sure that you get absolute maximum efficiency from everything that you're doing? So invest your time in yourself, in your routine, structure, learning, all that kind of stuff right now. That would be what I had to say is the best thing you can do with your lockdown time right now. Obviously, it's going to be too late to become a solicitor right now to deal with all the divorces that are going to come out of this in the next 3 to 6 years. But if you're already positioned in one of those areas, then by all means use the time efficiently. Because ultimately, predicting the future is a fool's game. You just want to make a percentage call right now.